This kid is born in the form of a meatball. He can send a giant rock flying with a single kick, a few steps, and he destroys an entire village. Then, NeZha sees a magical scroll called the Map of Rivers and Mountains. His curiosity spikes, and he reaches out to touch it. Suddenly, a powerful force pulls him into the scroll. Inside, it's a paradise. Green grass, flowing streams, and a golden palace. Everything sits on a giant lotus leaf. NeZha feels like he's in a dreamland. A chubby man appears. He takes out a magical brush, waves it, and a peach blossom tree turns into a boat. In this world, he can change anything. He turns clouds into water and takes NeZha flying through the skies. In the middle of summer, they're skiing and ice skating. NeZha rides a water-powered roller coaster. It's thrilling. The chubby man is actually a 1,000-year-old immortal named Tai Zhenren. He demands that NeZha should become his disciple and learn Kunlun magic. NeZha doesn't care. He pulls down his pants and pees on a rock, thinking, "This guy's lame. I'm not impressed." Tai decides to show his skills. He turns the rock into giant scissors, almost turning NeZha into a girl. Now NeZha is interested. He starts learning an illusion technique that took Tai 6 months to master. Tai thinks this'll keep him busy for a year or two. He won't cause trouble. So Tai takes a nap. But then NeZha's mom, Lady Yin, comes to check on him. NeZha is drowning. Tai panics and gives him CPR. NeZha's belly blows up like a balloon, and then pop, he turns into a frog. Tai gets poisoned, becomes a 500-pound giant, and breaks out in red spots. Lady Yin laughs, but then she turns into NeZha. Tai is shocked. NeZha didn't just master the illusion technique, he also learned shape-shifting. This kid is a genius. Tai asks NeZha to get him the antidote. NeZha sees a flaming spear and presses a button on it. It roasts Tai's private parts. Tai rolls on the ground in pain. NeZha's parents, Li Jing and Lady Yin, hear the screams and rush in to save Tai. NeZha just roasted Tai's private parts. Tai demands that NeZha should become his disciple, but NeZha says, "You're not even better than me. No way." Lady Yin tells NeZha he's the reincarnation of the Spirit Pearl, destined to save humanity. He needs to learn magic to defeat demons and earn respect. This hits home for NeZha. He's been hated by everyone since he was born, hearing things like "die monster" or "get out of Chentong Pass." All he's ever wanted is a friend. So he agrees to become Tai's disciple. But it's all a lie. 3 years earlier, there was a chaos pearl that absorbed spiritual energy for 1,000 years. It became so powerful, it could destroy the world. But it got corrupted, mixing good and evil. Tai and another immortal, Shen Gongbao, were sent to capture it. The two immortals couldn't handle the chaos pearl. They got beaten badly. Their master, Yuanshi Tianzun, steps in. He uses a divine cauldron to split the chaos pearl into two, the spirit pearl and the demon pill. He seals them in a lotus and casts a heavenly curse. In 3 years, lightning will strike and destroy the demon pill. Because Li Jing defended Chentang Pass well, the spirit pearl is destined to be reborn as his third son. Tai is tasked with delivering the spirit pearl. If he succeeds, he'll become one of the 12 golden immortals. Shen Gongbao, a leopard demon, is jealous. He's not allowed to become a golden immortal, so he hatches an evil plan. After 3 years of pregnancy, Lady Yin is ready to give birth. Tai is about to open the lotus and place the spirit pearl into NeZha, but he hesitates.
Mom, is something wrong?
I remember the password.
But he can use fingerprint unlock. As he's about to grab the spirit pearl, the housekeeper yells, "50% off at the tavern!" Tai, a heavy drinker, gets distracted. The housekeeper tries to steal the spirit pearl, but gets caught by Li Jing, who finds a puppet talisman on him. Shen Gongbao is behind it. The midwife sneaks in and takes both the spirit pearl and the demon pill. She's under a puppet spell.
You want it so badly? Okay, I'll give one back.
She throws the demon pill onto a stone plate. Li Jing tries to smash it, but it's too late. The demon pill enters Lady Yin's womb. After 3 years of pregnancy, Lady Yin gives birth to a baby with just a head. Everyone stares. The baby opens its huge eyes, sprouts red hair, and has a red mark on its forehead. It grins, jumps out of the midwife's arms, and rolls around like a flaming meatball, setting everything on fire. This is NeZha, the demon child. Tai grabs NeZha by the hair, but NeZha bites him and breaks free. NeZha's body bursts into flames. He transforms into a kid with black hair. He flies into the sky, eyes glowing white, and with a smirk, he launches a fireball that destroys the roof. NeZha's having fun. He throws fireballs left and right, setting the courtyard on fire. People run for their lives as trees and houses burn. Tai throws a magical ring, chanting, "By the power of heaven and earth, capture him." The ring turns into a golden cage, trapping NeZha. No matter how hard he struggles, he can't escape. The ring shrinks into a collar, suppressing his demonic powers. Tai moves in to finish him off, but Lady Yin shields NeZha, screaming,
"Don't hurt my child!"
The people of Chentang Pass, who've been fighting demons for generations, can't accept NeZha. Li Jing stands up and says, "NeZha's a victim too. I won't kill my own son." NeZha is out of control, even biting his own mom. Under pressure from the villagers, Li Jing promises NeZha won't leave the house. Tai reveals the truth. Even if they spare him, NeZha won't live past 3 years because of the heavenly curse. Li Jing begs Yuan Shitianzun to lift the curse, but the gatekeeper says it's impossible. Devastated, Li Jing kneels, unsure what to do. Tai suggests they spend the next 3 years raising NeZha with love. Meanwhile, Shen Gongbao takes the stolen spirit pearl to the East Sea Dragon Palace. The dragons, who've been helping heaven fight demons, are treated like prisoners, chained to the ocean floor to suppress sea monsters. The Dragon King wants his son, Ao Bing, to inherit the spirit pearl's power and change their fate. Shen Gongbao plans to use Ao Bing to prove he deserves to be a golden immortal. Shen Gongbao uses magic to implant the spirit pearl into Ao Bing. Time flies, and when Li Jing returns from heaven, NeZha's already 1 year old. The Li family's home is a wreck. NeZha's bored, stuck behind a magical barrier. Lady Yin asks what he's doing. NeZha says, "What else can I do? Watch people run around naked." Feeling bad, Lady Yin suggests playing kick the shuttlecock. NeZha's eyes light up. A soldier nearby warns Lady Yin, "Maybe you should put on some armor." Lady Yin waves her hand dismissively and says, "What? Are we going to die from playing shuttlecock?" But the next second, NeZha kicks the shuttlecock with a kick, and Lady Yin goes flying like an arrow, slamming into the wall so hard she gets stuck. She finally says, "Okay, maybe I'll put on the armor." NeZha, worried about his mom.
"No! Kick as hard as you want!"
NeZha gives a light kick, and cracks spread across the wall like spider webs. Lady Yin is drenched in sweat from the beating, but seeing NeZha smile for the first time in a long while, she feels the pain is worth it.
That's wonderful for him, my lady.
Just then, a servant reports that a monster has appeared. Lady Yin has no choice but to go fight it. She tells NeZha, "Next time, I'll play with you as long as you want." NeZha pushes her hand away and jumps back onto the wall, alone. He's used to being neglected, but as his mother leaves, he can't help but glance back. The constant disappointment makes NeZha want to escape this prison. He cracks open the door and throws a pebble at one of the barrier guardians. Thinking it was the other guardian, they start fighting. NeZha seizes the chance to break the barrier and runs into town. The townspeople panic. Some hide in coffins, others play dead, and some dive into the water. But NeZha finds them all. A man with a feminine voice thinks the coast is clear and steps out, only to lock eyes with NeZha. In a panic, he hits himself with a brick, thinking it's better than being beaten by NeZha. But not everyone is scared. A group of kids forms the Demon Subduers Club, vowing to defeat NeZha. One kid, Piggy, comes up with a plan.
I was thinking we could set some traps.
They cut the planks on the bridge so NeZha will fall through, triggering a second trap. A basket of weapons will drop from above. NeZha will pick up a pot as a shield, but the pot is also a trap. A giant boulder will roll down, forcing NeZha to jump into a gap, where a plank will launch him into a tree with a venomous snake. To escape, he'll climb a rope ladder, but it's tied to a beehive. NeZha will jump into a mud pit to avoid the bees, and when he climbs out, he'll be terrified. The club leader thinks the plan is foolproof. The kids pee into the mud pit. Piggy asks, "Isn't this a bit too much?" The leader says, "I'm delivering justice for the people." But the others wonder, "How do we get NeZha onto the bridge?" Piggy says, "Easy. We'll scare him onto it." The next second, Piggy takes off his mask, and NeZha is right there. The kids panic and run onto the bridge, triggering all their own traps. NeZha is thrilled, but then he hears one of them yell.
Laugh all you want, you demon!
NeZha's anger explodes. He kicks a giant boulder, but Tai intervenes just in time to save the kids. The boulder smashes into a mountain, destroying half of it. Li Jing takes NeZha back and locks him up again. Faced with NeZha's mischief, he doesn't know how to discipline him. NeZha is the reincarnation of the demon pill, with the power to destroy the world. Lady Yin thinks NeZha only has 2 years left and suggests quitting their official duties to travel with him. But Li Jing doesn't want his son to grow up aimless. Taiyi proposes taking NeZha as his disciple to help him cultivate his character and overcome the demon pill's influence. So Lady Yin lies, telling NeZha he's the reincarnation of the benevolent spirit pearl, destined to save humanity. NeZha, who's always wanted acceptance, agrees to become Taiyi's disciple. Over the next 2 years, NeZha masters all the immortal arts and receives the red armillary sash and fire-tipped spear as weapons. But NeZha's temper is still explosive. During practice, he destroys the entire town. Li Jing decides he's not ready for real battles and has Taiyi confiscate his weapons, ordering NeZha to meditate and reflect. NeZha isn't having it. He steals the magical brush and runs off. But the next moment, NeZha runs into a sea monster, Yasha.
No, demon! Let go of that dog!
Yasha looks down and sees a kid shorter than his leg, thinking he'll make a quick snack, but NeZha headbutts Yasha, sending him flying. He follows up with a kick that destroys a house. Yasha, terrified, turns into a puddle of water and slips through the buildings. NeZha wrecks everything in his path, chasing Yasha, who hides in one of 100 water jars. From the outside, it's impossible to tell which one he's in. The townspeople hear the commotion and come to watch. NeZha turns around, and they all flee. He shouts,
Stop! Turn around and watch this!
NeZha smashes the jars one by one, trying to prove he's not a bad kid. He uses fire magic to heat all the jars to 100 degrees, but the people only grow more afraid. The townspeople think NeZha has lost control again, and scatter. Yasha reappears, and NeZha chases him with fire, destroying more houses. Yasha grabs a little girl playing with a shuttlecock and takes off. The demon subduer's leader, mistaking NeZha for the kidnapper, runs to get help. Yasha reaches the sea and leaps 5 meters high, thinking he's safe. But the water suddenly freezes, and Yasha crashes onto the ice. A figure in a white cloak appears. Ao Bing, the reincarnation of the spirit pearl. In an instant, Ao Bing saves the girl. NeZha is furious. He hurls a giant ice block at Ao Bing, snatches the girl back and says, "I saw this monster first. Get in line." He tosses the girl to Yasha, determined to prove himself. NeZha kicks Ao Bing away.
Town's only big enough for one pool guy.
He then yells at Yasha, "Monster, let her go!" Yasha is confused. Before NeZha can act, Ao Bing attacks. NeZha bites Ao Bing's fist and refuses to let go, then rips off his cloak, revealing horns. Ao Bing, humiliated, gets serious. Suddenly, bubbles surround NeZha. He touches one, and his hand turns to stone. Yasha's poisonous bubbles are everywhere. Yasha swallows the girl and taunts them. Ao Bing punches Yasha, forcing him to spit out the girl, but the venom petrifies Ao Bing too. Yasha lifts a giant ice block, ready to crush Ao Bing. NeZha uses his petrified arm to sweep away the bubbles. Yasha spits out more, daring NeZha to come closer. NeZha spins Ao Bing like a windmill, smashing Yasha to the ground. Yasha begs for mercy, offering his snot as an antidote. NeZha gags but drinks it, almost vomiting.
It's like garlic.
But his arm returns to normal. Ao Bing, still petrified, can't drink the antidote. Yasha awkwardly explains.
You can also bite to the skin.
NeZha almost loses it. Once Ao Bing and the girl are cured, NeZha becomes Ao Bing's savior. They make peace and play shuttlecock by the sea at sunset. Ao Bing effortlessly catches NeZha's shuttlecock, the first time anyone has. NeZha suddenly cries. Ao Bing asks what's wrong.
Got eyes in my sand.
Ao Bing laughs.
You mean sand in your eyes?
He offers to blow the sand out. NeZha turns away, tears streaming, and smashes a rock. He angrily says, "Besides my mom, you're the first person to play with me. That's why I'm so emotional." Ao Bing gives him a seashell, saying, "If you ever want to play, blow this, and I'll come." NeZha is overjoyed. He's finally made a friend. But then the demon subduer's leader arrives with a crowd, accusing NeZha of kidnapping his sister and calling him a monster. NeZha loses control and beats them up. Taiyi and Li Jing arrive just in time to stop him. NeZha saved the girl from a monster, but an old man accuses him of burning the village, kidnapping children, and attacking the townspeople. He demands Li Jing punish NeZha. Furious, NeZha is about to strike, but Taiyi restrains him with the red armillary sash and locks him up. Ao Bing, unaware of the chaos, happily tells his father and Shen Gongbao about his new friend, NeZha. Shen Gongbao is shocked and reveals that NeZha is the demon pill. He reminds Ao Bing that when the heavenly curse strikes, he must save Chentang Pass to become a hero and free the Dragon Clan. Ao Bing is torn. NeZha is the only one who doesn't judge him for being a monster. NeZha is locked up at home, living like a beggar. though at least he doesn't have to beg for food. To cheer him up, Lady Yin tells him they'll throw him a grand third birthday party and invite all the people of Chentang Pass to celebrate. NeZha perks up at first but quickly deflates, thinking, "Celebrate me? I'd be thanking the heavens if they didn't kill me." Then Li Jing says, "I know you're not the culprit. It was Yasha who kidnapped the girl." He had noticed traces of Yasha's saliva on NeZha's hands. With his father's acknowledgement, NeZha finally starts looking forward to his birthday. Li Jing decides to clear his son's name at the party. NeZha quickly draws an invitation and blows the seashell to summon Ao Bing. He hands him the invitation, eagerly hoping Ao Bing will come. Ao Bing looks at the drawing of two kids playing shuttlecock and feels torn. He doesn't want to hurt NeZha, but he also doesn't want to disappoint his father. On the day of the party, Ao Bing's father and the entire dragon clan use their hardest scales to forge an indestructible armor for him, the 10,000 dragon armor. Ao Bing has no choice but to betray NeZha. Meanwhile, the people of Chentang Pass arrive at the Li residence for the party. They look miserable, as if attending a funeral.
Smile!
Mournful music even plays in the background. Unaware they were forced to come, NeZha drapes himself in a cape and admires his heroic reflection in the mirror. Suddenly, eerie smoke appears behind him. NeZha reacts instantly, attacking. Shen Gongbao quickly says, "I'm your uncle. I'm here to tell you the truth about the demon pill." Soon, NeZha walks into the party dejected. Taiyi gives him a flying pig as a gift. NeZha touches the pig's nose, and it transforms into two flaming wheels. The mount changes based on its owner's traits.
Does it turn into a pig with you then?
Li Jing gives him a protective charm and tells him, "Don't care too much about what others think. Who you are is up to you." He also reveals Yasha is locked in the cellar, and they'll clear NeZha's name soon. But NeZha sneers.
But all you've done was lie to me.
He accuses his parents of lying about him being the spirit pearl and trapping him in the map of rivers and mountains to keep him from causing trouble. He chants a spell,
Power of sun and moon.
and flames erupt as he removes the Qiankun circle, unleashing his demonic form. Shen Gongbao secretly takes the circle, preventing NeZha from returning to normal. NeZha goes on a rampage at the party. The people scream and flee. Taiyi tries to restrain him with his whisk, but fails. NeZha stabs at Li Jing with his fire-tipped spear. Li Jing kneels, gripping the spear with both hands, unwilling to fight back. Ao Bing watches from afar. Shen Gongbao tells him to wait until NeZha kills Taiyi and his parents, then step in to stop NeZha until the heavenly curse strikes. Ao Bing hesitates, feeling NeZha isn't evil. Shen sighs. Prejudice is like a mountain. No matter how hard you try, you can't move it. I'm the hardest working disciple, but because I'm a monster, I'll never become a god. Ao Bing decides to save Li Jing and Lady Yin to repay NeZha's kindness. Shen reluctantly gives him the Qiankun circle, warning him, "Once your identity is exposed, everyone will turn on you." But the moment he turns around, Ao Bing is already gone. Just then, NeZha activates his spear's mechanism, and Taiyi drags Li Jing away. Flames erupt as NeZha breaks free, attacking with his red armillary sash. He binds Li Jing, ready to strike. Lady Yin pleads.
Stop! That's your father!
But NeZha, consumed by rage, won't listen. The spear flies toward Li Jing, but Ao Bing appears in a flash of red and blue sparks, blocking the attack.
He's so cool!
NeZha, feeling challenged, fights Ao Bing. Ao Bing uses ice magic, but NeZha breaks free. Ao Bing traps him again and gives the Qiankun circle to Taiyi to suppress NeZha's demonic energy. When NeZha regains consciousness, he sees the people's faces and remembers their cruelty. Enraged, he rides flaming wheels out of the Li residence. Ao Bing, having saved the day, prepares to leave. Li Jing suddenly stops Ao Bing and yanks off his cloak. He had sensed something familiar about Ao Bing's aura. When everyone sees the dragon horns on Ao Bing's head, they panic. Taiyi notices the dragon pearl mark on Ao Bing's forehead and realizes the dragon clan stole the spirit pearl. Ao Bing, panicked, tries to flee. Taiyi shouts after him.
I'm gonna tell the Supreme Lord!
Ao Bing hesitates, hearing the townspeople mutter, "A monster is always a monster. A dog can't change its nature." Suddenly, Shen Gongbao's words echo in his mind. Prejudice is like a mountain. No matter how hard you try, you can't move it. Consumed by rage, Ao Bing summons a massive wave and freezes it, creating a giant ice dome over Chentang Pass. The people scream, "He's trying to bury us alive." Ao Bing, now clad in the indestructible 10,000 dragon armor, is untouchable. Li Jing attacks, but his blows have no effect. Meanwhile, NeZha vents his anger in the forest. His flaming wheels revert to the flying pig, which plucks a blade of grass to scratch its nose. When it sneezes, NeZha sees a vision. His father went to heaven to find a way to lift the heavenly curse. Chang Shengyun explains the curse can't be broken, but can be transferred using a life exchange talisman. Li Jing places one talisman on himself and the other on NeZha, willing to take the curse. When asked who NeZha is to him, Li Jing simply says,
"He is my son."
Those 4 words soften NeZha's heart. He sees the depth of his father's love and feels unworthy of it, given his past mischief. Determined to protect everyone, he returns to the Li residence to face Ao Bing once more. Ao Bing unleashes a super-strong water column. NeZha spins his fire-tipped spear to resist, creating a large expanse of water vapor. But most of NeZha's power is locked by the Qiankun circle, and he simply can't beat Ao Bing. NeZha darts into the water vapor in a flash. Seeing this, Ao Bing directly uses his ultimate move, but ends up hitting Shen Gongbao instead. Shen Gongbao shouts,
Stop, my apprentice!
Ao Bing immediately stops. Suddenly, Shen screams, "NeZha!" Ao Bing turns around immediately. NeZha, who has transformed into Shen's appearance, sneakily poking his butt with a fire-tipped spear and asking,
It's crazy.
What the heck are you wearing?
Ao Bing is extremely angry. NeZha dives into the water vapor again. Ao Bing chases after him right away. The next moment, the 2 Shen Gongbaos collide. NeZha is quick-witted and swaps his weapon with Shen's. Ao Bing rushes over, sees Shen Gongbao holding the fire-tipped spear, and directly attacks. Shen Gongbao shouts,
Stop! I am your master!
Ao Bing has been tricked once and doesn't believe it at all. NeZha, who is watching the fun, helps Ao Bing knock Shen Gongbao down. But the next second, Ao Bing gets poked again. He is so angry that he wants to bite NeZha. NeZha says, "This is your reward." NeZha turns around and meets Taiyi Zhenren. Taiyi sees him wearing Shen Gongbao's disguise and immediately whips out the map of mountains and rivers, directly sucking NeZha in. Just as Taiyi is feeling proud, the real Shen shows up, with Ao Bing following behind. Taiyi doesn't have time to think and sucks Ao Bing in as well. Shen quickly goes to save his apprentice. At the moment of being dragged into the map, he uses his Thunder Whip to drag Taiyi in too. Inside the map of mountains and rivers, only by getting the magic brush can they get out, so the 4 of them immediately start fighting for it. Shen throws out his Thunder Whip to entangle Taiyi. Taiyi whips out his whisk to tangle up Ao Bing. Ao Bing employs his ice condensing technique to turn NeZha into an ice block. NeZha uses his red armillary sash to bind Shen. The 4 of them get entangled and finally form an ice ball. The brush is right in front of them. Shen blows to push the ice ball, telling Ao Bing to get the brush. Taiyi quickly farts and tells NeZha to pick up the brush. Shen is not to be outdone and takes a deep breath. Shen Gongbao inhales a big mouthful of Taiyi's stinky fart and immediately passes out. NeZha instantly uses his foot to grab the brush. He gives a strong kick, and the ground splits open with a huge crevice. The ice ball tumbles into it. NeZha, scared out of his wits, wildly waves the brush inside, triggering a flood disaster. Li Jing and his wife are watching from the outside. They see them bouncing around in the map like marbles. Eventually, they burst out and crash to the ground and then scatter. Ao Bing, no longer showing mercy, sets his sights on Li Jing and his wife. NeZha dashes to save his parents right away but gets seriously wounded by Ao Bing. Subsequently, Ao Bing transforms into a demon dragon and unleashes his massive power to smash the ice cover. Countless ice shards rain down, and the common folks flee in terror. It seems as if the ice cover is on the verge of obliterating Chentang Pass. At this very moment, NeZha finally grasps what responsibility and the hero's mission truly mean. He immediately chants the transformation incantation. He can't fully open it, or he'll lose consciousness. NeZha turns into a heroic teenager and then soars into the sky. Relying on his own strength, he slowly lifts the ice cover. Ao Bing immediately increases the pressure, and the ice cover quickly crushes the houses. Ao Bing says to NeZha, "Stop struggling. You were born a demon pill. This is your destiny." NeZha clenches his teeth and struggles hard, but still looks unyielding.
The master of my destiny! I'll be the one who decides, and I will not be a demon!
The next moment, NeZha grows 4 more arms, a total of 6 arms, and quickly lifts the ice cover. The blazing flames burst out, wrapping the ice cover from bottom to top like a lotus flower. In a cloud of water vapor, Ao Bing is tightly bound by red armillary sash. The fire-tipped spear stabs over instantly, but stops right in front of Ao Bing's eyes. Although NeZha is a demon pill, he understands better than those who talk about benevolence and righteousness all day long what friendship, family affection, and great love are. Most importantly, Ao Bing is his only friend.
You should leave.
Ao Bing asks in surprise, "Aren't you afraid I'll come back to cause trouble?" NeZha says angrily.
Your fate's what you want it to be. No one else gets to decide what you are.
Just then, the terrifying heavenly curse arrives. NeZha ties up his parents and tears up the amulet. He wants to take on his own fate. Even his parents can't make decisions for him. His only regret is that he has never played shuttlecock with his father. He shouts to his parents,
Dad? Mom? Thank you.
"Thank you for knowing I'm a demon pill and still giving me all your love." Then, the lightning strikes him fiercely. NeZha feels like his body is about to explode. He turns his head and sees Ao Bing coming to his side. Ao Bing immediately releases the armor of 10,000 dragons to help NeZha resist the thunder tribulation. He was just awakened by NeZha and understands that revenge will never end. Only by struggling hard can he not be controlled by fate. However, the armor of 10,000 dragons can't withstand the lightning strike either. The two can only hold hands and release the power of the Chaos Pearl, swallowing all the lightning into their bodies. The energy of the thunder tribulation is too powerful. NeZha and Ao Bing are on the verge of explosion. The heavenly tribulation takes the form of a face, and its energy is even more powerful than before. The demon pill and the spirit pearl condense the energy in their bodies into a lightning ball and throw it back, but it is still swallowed by the heavenly tribulation. Tai Yi immediately rushes in with the seven-colored lotus. At the moment of the heavenly tribulation explosion, he takes the two into the lotus. Then the electric light goes out, and a big pit is smashed on the ground. Tai Yi uses his lifelong cultivation and the energy of the lotus to preserve the souls of NeZha and Ao Bing. As long as their bodies can be reshaped, the two can be revived. At this time, all the people of Chentang Pass gather around. They witness the heroic moment of the demon pill and kneel down to worship NeZha one after another. At this moment, NeZha finally wins everyone's recognition. However, NeZha's story is far from over. In the future, what kind of adventure journey will he embark on? This film is called NeZha. Whether it's evil or good, it's all prejudice in people's hearts. NeZha was born evil, but he uses facts and actions to prove that which path to take is never determined by heaven. My fate is determined by me, not by heaven. NeZha 2 is now showing in theaters. If you like this video, remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.